the price is something which is important for a salesperson and also for a customer. It's more than money. It's more than the value. It is the tool which is used as a negotiating instrument in the sales process. The sales process, if you look at it, there are so many things we do, but fulcrum of everything is the price. Okay, all of you know that when you go to a market and then price is something which you cannot avoid talking whether you buy or whether you sell. Such an important topic is the price. Okay, but from the salesman point of view, how are you going to manage the price? That's a question. Okay. In fact, I would even say that a little elaborately, how are you going to manage the price expectation of the customer? That's what exactly it means actually. Okay, price management means how are you going to manage the price expectation of a customer? Okay. Now, the price management, it is basically within the company also, they have something called price management, which is talk about the cost calculation, the contribution margins, how to fix the price. When there are a lot of different types of pricing, are there penetration pricing, the so many other pricing mechanisms are there actually. Okay, I'm not going into those things today. I'm here talking about, as a salesman, how are you going to manage the price expectation of a customer? That's what we'll be discussing today. Okay. In this webinar, we will talk about what is price. It's very important to understand what is price. Okay. And then when will you tell the price to the customer? Whom do you tell the price to the customer? When I say customer, there are various power centers, right? For example, right from the owner or CEO to the purchase person, user, etc., etc. Okay. So whom do you tell what price? Because the same price you cannot tell all the people. Okay. You can definitely not tell the final price to everybody. Okay. So whom do you tell what price? Okay. When do you tell the price? Okay. And then if they make an objection on the price, which is obviously they will do it. Okay. Nobody is going to simply purchase whatever price you say. Okay. They are going to make the price objections. Okay. When they do the price objections, understand clearly why they make the price objection. Okay. Then plan your action of how to handle the price objection. Okay. Also, the price, there are various, we talked about in the customer segmentation, various segments of customer like price buyer, quality buyer, convenience buyer, image buyer, relationship buyer. Okay. Based on which segment your customer belongs to, when they make this price objection, there is a different meaning attached to that. Okay. You cannot, price buyer makes the price objection, relationship buyer make the price objection. Both are not same. If your salesperson comes and tells you that if you hear that the price is high, it doesn't mean they are saying price is high. They say something else. These things we will discuss in this webinar. Okay. This is what we'll be discussing in this webinar. What is price? When we should tell the price to the customer? Whom do you tell the price? Tell what price? Why customer raise price objection? How do we overcome the same? How do we handle adamant customers? And how can we avoid getting the price or discount trap? I know this is a very, very hot kind of topic, particularly the last point is how can we avoid getting into price or discount trap? Okay, we will discuss as we move on. Before that, even we'll talk before what is price. Let's understand what is price pressure. Okay, I mean this looks very trivial, but I want you to kind of customer wants lower and lower price. It's a typical case. Your company wants to sell higher and higher. Naturally, you have to sell higher price to get a better profit for your company or for you. And competition keeps slashing the prices. They are recklessly keep reducing prices. Okay, and the customer also shift overnight the product due to price difference. Moment you say I cannot match the price, you will shift actually. Okay. So as a salesperson, you find it very difficult to hold on to the business with the required price given to the customer actually. Okay. This is a big challenge. What is price? The price is cost of product plus margin from the supplier point of view. As a supplier, what is price? If somebody asks you, you will naturally say, what is the cost of my product plus what margin I'm going to make? That's a price. Okay. That means the price is the cost of the product plus margin. Okay. So for example, if you are selling at 100 rupees, okay, the cost of product is 80, your margin is 20, then you'll, for example, your cost of product is 80, you want to make a margin of 20, then you will have to keep the price of 100. You want to keep a margin of 10, you have to keep a price of 90. That's how the supplier point of view, the price is called actually. Okay. But the customer's point of view, it is not the case. Customer is least bothered about your cost of product or least even bothered about your margin. Okay. According to him, the price is something customer perceived value, what he will get out of our product. Be careful. I'm here putting the perceived value. I'm not even talking about the value. Okay. There is something called absolute value. Value of anything varies from person to person. Okay. That's why we talk about perceived value. Okay. The customer feels that he is getting enough value out of your product. Okay. For which what you charge is good or reasonable, then he will say your price is correct, right? So the customer's point of view, price is the perceived value, what he will get out of your product. Am I making clear? Is it clear? The price is not same from the supplier point of view or from the customer point of view. Both are different. This basic rule you have to understand. From supplier point of view, price is a cost plus margin. But the customer's point of view, price is the perceived value, what you will get per product. Then what is, now for example, if the price is more than what customer perceived value you will get to the product, okay, then customer say your price is high. You understand this? The customer will tell you your price is very high if the perceived value, what he gets out of a product is less than the price that he is going to pay, he will say your price is very high. Okay. If the price is less than the value what he will get out of a product, actually, he will not tell you, but then at least you will buy your price is cheaper, for example. Okay, your price is cheaper if the perceived value what he gets is more than the price according to him, according to the customer. These are all according to the customer, not according to you. I'm yet to come to you actually. I'm talking about the customer's mentality. Okay, the customer will say your price is high if he feels that perceived value is less than what price is getting you. Okay, he will be happy or he will say you are cheaper if he feels your perceived value is more than what price is getting. Understand? So, again, price is equal to customer perceived value. You will say right price actually. Either right price or cheaper price or costlier price, right? Okay, right price means the price is equal to perceived value. Costlier price means price is more than the perceived value. Cheaper price means price is less than the perceived value. So far, so good. Any objection? Any debate on this? Please open up. Can anybody make a noise? I feel that I'm heard of actually. Voice?
Yeah, no doubt, sir.
Now, what is perceived value? Let's understand what is perceived value. That's very, very important because perceived value is something what customer perceive, not you perceive, right? Customer perceive. Now, you have something called features, benefit, and values for every product. You all know about this. So, if you based on the features and benefits, and then you derive a value for a customer. Okay. Now, example, simple example I gave. There is emulsion, silicone emulsion, stable emulsion, no oil stain. Then the fabric quality is getting a very good fabric quality actually. Okay. If you go and tell the customers, my emulsion is stable and it will not give any oil stain, it will not make sense. No sense. You have to really make him understand that it will good quality of product or fabric, which will eventually get a price for him, and he will make more money out of this transaction if he's going to use your chemical. This idea of value generation, if you are going to flow in his mind, okay, that will only give a better kind of mind in terms of making him feel that your price is lesser than his perceived value. Okay, so as a salesman, our job is to ensure that we understand the value and make him to understand the value, what your poet is to give, then only he is going to kind of justify for the price what he is going to pay. Now we talked about what is price. Let's talk about when we will tell the price. Okay, there's a small video. You just listen to this video. Okay. The important thing is that what I want to convey is this. Okay. Very, very clearly it is mentioned that price is power. Okay. That means moment you give the price to the customer, you lost your power of control of the entire operation. For example, it's basically between you and the customer, there is a kind of like a war it is going on, okay, till you complete your negotiation and deal, etc. Okay. Moment you give the price, you lost your control, actually. So you have to hold on to the price for a longer period. But the question is, I know that customer will make a lot of pressure of asking you, what's the price, what's the price, what's the price, okay. So any comment on this video? Anybody wants to share? Today being a quiet day, I think. So what he says is that price is power. Hold on to it as long as possible. Immediately do not give the price. Okay. You can say depends, etc., etc. But then in the middle, if the customer is still pushing you too much, give me a range. Not give the exact price. Okay. Definitely not give the final price. Okay, because I'm telling this because many salespeople, when the bosses give them the range, for example, let's say you go up to 80 rupees. Okay, they immediately, when the customer asks the price, will tell the 80 rupees. Okay, the customer will ask for less than that. Then again, he'll come back to the boss and say, boss, no, the customer is not agreeing for 80 actually. Okay, but he never tells a price higher than what last price, what his boss has told him to sell, for example. Why? There's a fear that customer will go away if I give the higher price, okay, which is not true. Actually, it is not true, okay. So you have to really hold on to the price and then manage with these discussions, make the customer understand the value of a point, etc., etc. And then the right moment you have to tell the price. Even then, you can't tell the final price. You must give a price range so that there is some room you can keep it for negotiation in the later stage, actually, okay. Now, once we talked about what is price, we talked about when to tell the price. Okay. Now let's talk about whom to tell the price. Okay. There are many power centers in an organization. It can be CEO, it can be purchase person, production head, quality control, etc., etc. Okay. But then you also know there is something called decision maker, influencer, user, and purchase. Somebody will purchase, somebody will use, somebody will decide. Okay. Now, unless you are clear about this power center, you'll end up giving the final price to the person. For example, purchase person, if you give the final price, okay, then eventually he will take you to the CEO. CEO asks for a lower price. Okay, many a time the price problem happens, price pressure happens is because price is not handled properly. Whether you agree or not, it is my opinion. If the price is handled by the salesperson properly, okay, you can get a better price, you can get a better profit. The price pressure can be handled better. Okay, that's what I told you actually. Why you should know what is price. Okay. Number two, you should know when to tell the price. Okay. Number three, you should know whom to tell the price. Okay. Whom to tell the price. What I mean to say is that when the purchase person asks you a price, for example, your price is 100. Your boss has told you don't go less than 80. Okay. I'm just giving a hypothetical situation. Okay. You go tell the purchase person 100 rupees the price, okay, and then purchase person will negotiate and then reduce the price, okay. You can never go to 80 because you are not going to, your boss is not going to, your company is not going to allow you to go less than 80 actually. You should hold on around 90, whatever actually, like that, okay. Till you are sure that he is a final decision maker, you cannot give him the final price, okay. So you should be clear about who is a decision maker before revealing the final price. Okay. For example, a production person can ask you the price for cost calculation. Okay, quality control can, even R&D can ask for some sort of calculations. Okay, you must have a different type of pricing to give to them, not that final selling price. Making sense? Any comment on this? We talked about price. We talked about when to tell the price. We talked about whom to tell the price. So that's what. So for decision maker, give him the final price always. Influencer, give him the indicative price but attractive one, because he's the one who is going to influence the decision maker. If you go and tell the influencer the price is much higher price, okay, he will tell the decision maker, no, it is very costly. Decision maker, CEO may not have time to even go through all these things in details. Okay, so you have to be careful while giving the price to influencer. User, give him the guideline price for cost calculation. Purchaser, give the offer price. Don't get me wrong. In an organization, purchaser can be decision maker. Okay. User can be decision maker. Influencer also can be decision maker. Don't get me wrong. Here I'm only saying that if you are clear about who is a decision maker, give him the final price. Okay. If you know that somebody is influencing but is not a decision maker, but give him the price, but not the exact final price, but attractive price. Okay. If you know there is somebody is a user but is not a decision maker, give him the guideline price for cost calculation. If you know that there is a purchaser but is not a decision maker, give him the offer price. Make sense? Can anybody make a noise, please? I'm not able to. Okay.
Yes, sir. Perfectly.
Yeah, I think keep making noises so that I know that people are listening actually. This webinar is a more painful thing now, where you can't even gauge what's happening the other side. Should we quote higher price or lower price? When you quote higher price, there is a room for negotiation. When you quote lower price, there is less room for negotiation. That all of us know. But then when you go to a customer, what price you quote? For example, again, he says your boss, your company says don't go less than 80. 80 is the price I want. Okay. You want to quote 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. What price you want to quote? 120, 150. What price you want to quote actually? Anybody? Any guess? I'm saying I want a price of 80 rupees in my hand. Okay. To the customer, what price I should quote?
Definitely higher than 80.
How much? How much? How much? Please, higher means 81 also higher actually. Okay. It can be, you quote how much?
Maybe
Yes,
83,
guess.
sir. 83, something like that.
83. Okay, I think it's very difficult to answer this question because it depends upon so many things, right? From the customer mentality, situation, company situation, so many things it depends upon. Okay, do you agree to it or not? 83 can be okay in some customer, 81 can be okay, 100 can be okay in some customer, right? 83, if you give it as a price to the customer, if you negotiate, he says, give me 10% discount, then what you do? Ganesan, if you go.
Right, sir. So we had some
says,
scope of negotiation. So we thought 3 rupees come karenge to, he will feel that yes, we have done.
Yeah, but even if you ask for 5% discount, is it less than rupees, na? So depends upon so many factors. You decide what price to quote to. So that means for the same product, for the same bottom price you want to get 80 rupees. Every single customer you can't quote the same price. Every single customer you cannot quote the same price. Okay. Now what happens is many of you have got the list price. Okay. Many sand companies have got a list price. Okay. You go and tell the customer the list price. Then they negotiate for the discount actually. Okay. Unfortunately, what happened that list price is fixed for throughout the market. Okay. For various reasons, different reasons it is kept like that. Okay. But then depends upon the customer mentality. Some customer is okay with 5% discount. Some customer is okay with 1% discount also. Some customer wants 20% discount actually, for example. Okay. Unfortunately, you are all caught up in the web saying that because our price is too, they want more discount, for example. Okay. So I let me come to this next slide, then you can understand better. Sorry. Okay, why do we quote the right price? This is just I'm telling you, you all know about this. Okay, if you quote lower price, then the customer will devalue your point. You can't when moment you say 80, he will ask for 70. Moment if you say 70, he will ask for 60. Okay, nobody is going to appreciate you saying that, sir, you are given the best and lowest price. I don't want any discount. I don't want any further price reduction. Nobody is going to tell that, right? If you quote higher price, they may even run away, because this is a fear all of us have got. All salespeople have got the fear. If I can sell at 80 rupees, why should I quote at 100 rupees? If I quote 100 rupees, customer will run away. Then I will lose my business. So better to give 83, 81. So there is some scope for negotiation. Okay. If you quote higher price and offer hefty discount, then again customer will devalue. Suppose you are saying 100 rupees and then you say, I'll give 20% discount. Okay. You are actually giving a wrong signal to the customer, because according to the customer, your company, any product, any time, I can get 20% discount. He will tell you that, sir, last time you gave me that point, you gave me 20% discount. This point also you should give me 20% discount. So you are setting a bad and wrong precedent by offering higher discounts, right? So higher price is this problem. Okay. Lower price, they devalue, or your company will lose money. Also, it's a bad precedent return. And customer lose a trust on you and doubt about future quotes. Now, this is a price based on these 4 factors. You must decide what price you should quote a customer. Again, I'm just giving the case study. 80 rupees I want in my hand. Okay. What price I should quote to the customer depends upon these 4 factors: customer psychology, product, commodity or specialty, customer benefit, what he gets out of your product, and the urgency on which he is going to buy the product. Carefully look at these things, okay? It is not that easy to tell simply any price to the customer, 83, 81. It's not possible, because we don't know what is their urgency, what benefit you're going to give, what is their psychology. Psychology varies from customer to customer. We discussed this in many earlier occasions. What is psychology? There are some customers who never accept whatever you say without debate. You all know this, whatever I'm writing here, each lines, all of you are familiar with this, because you have been looking at this day in and day out about these things. Okay. Nobody, this particular set of customers will not accept whatever you say at the face value. He wants negotiation always. Okay. And then some customers wants to believe they are getting a best deal. And because they don't want to, it applies to us also as a human being. When you go to buy something in the market, okay, some of us go and buy for formality's sake, we ask for discount, but we generally buy on the list price. Okay, but some of people like us, some of the people, they will really pressurize for discount and ask for lower price. It's a psychology of the person. It is not that he doesn't have money. Somebody have enough money will bargain like anything. Somebody have got less money will still buy at the list price. It is to do with the mentality of the person, not to do with the purse, not to do with the cost, not to do with the money, not to the nothing. It is to do with the psychology of the person. So you have to understand the customer psychology. Your customer, which customer you are going to quote your price, you must understand the psychology before quoting the price. He wants to believe that due to his relationship, he gets the best. He actually wants to win in the negotiation. He wants to really negotiate and then get the best deal from you. Some people want to believe that he is not cheated actually. Why? Because he doesn't know your bottom, no? Your company, or you know that 80 rupees is the bottom price under which you cannot go, but he doesn't know. According to him, actually, he can even go to 70. You can even go to 60. He doesn't know, no? That's why actually he will keep on putting pressure for reducing further the price. Naturally, his ego has to be satisfied. In any business negotiations, unfortunately or fortunately, customer ego is something very important to be handled. Okay. So the price offer, price negotiation, price close is a very, very important place where the customer ego is under play. You have to really understand that if you play it very well, you can succeed. Now we talked about customer psychology. Now talk about customer product category. Now, if it is a commodity or specialty, you should not, if it is a specialty product, okay, you can, for example, I'm just giving a textile example. If it is a wetting agent, okay, you can possibly keep a higher price, and then there is a room for negotiation, because you can convince the customer about the performance of your product. You can take trials, you can prove, etc., etc. If it is caustic soda, for example, you can't do much of that. If it is peroxide, you can't do much of that. Okay, you have to be careful in giving the right price, a reasonably close price. Okay, so depends on the product category, your initial price offer varies. Cost structure of your company, market dynamics. This again, for example, if your competition is let's say 80 rupees worth the product, your competition is offering generally 90 and then negotiate, you are going to tell 100, customer will run away clearly. So you have to understand the market dynamics before offering a price, initial price. Here I'm talking about initial price in all these cases. Okay, I'm not talking about the final price. Final price will happen only after negotiation. The price management is the place where I'm talking about the offering the price. Okay, the entire webinar today, we talked about price offer. We're not talking about the price, final price finalization. That is, will happen only after negotiation. Product value chain. If you understand the product value chain only, you can understand the value your product is going to offer to the customer. Accordingly, you can know that whether this price is suitable to the customer or not. Macroeconomics. Macroeconomics, here we talk about the supply situation of the raw materials and then etc., etc. So that, for example, there is a huge delay of getting the material, there is supply in trouble, and then you are going to offer him the 20% discount, and then what's the point? There's no point, right? Actually, you have to be careful because when the market is tight, when the market macroeconomics are not really in favorable of free flow of the material, naturally there will be a price rise. There will be a you have to offer the price accordingly. You cannot just throw the price down and then make the customer. Again, I'm repeating, whatever price you quote, customer is going to ask for lower price, and then you have to finalize after negotiation. So while quoting the price, you have to be careful. That's what I'm talking about in all these slides. Customer benefit. What benefit he gets out of your product? We talked about customer psychology. We talked about product category. Here we are talking about customer benefit. What benefit he gets out of your product, and then how it impacts his overall production cost. How can he get a better price for his product? How can he get a better price realization for his product based on using your product? How can it helps him minimize rejections? Because when he is going to reduce the rejections in his production, to that extent, he is going to save a lot of money. If you know that, you can negotiate properly. Again, I'm saying 80 rupees, you want the final price. You are going to offer him 83 rupees. Okay. And by using your chemical, he's going to make, for example, at least 20-30 rupees more per piece, whatever per unit actually. Okay. In terms of his final product selling. Okay. And then if he still negotiate with you and reduce the price by another 5-10 rupees, okay, what is the point? You are making the customer to make more and more money, right? Unless you are clear about what your product is going to help him in terms of getting the better quality, lesser rejections, and better price realization, etc., etc. You cannot calculate the value which your product generates for the customer, and then based on that, you can meaningfully quote the price instead of quoting the lower price. And then see, again, I'm saying, even if your product is going to give the huge value, still you will negotiate for a lower price. Still will negotiate at lower price. But at that time, if you are not going to give him the price, heartburns will happen. The problem is 83 rupees you can quote. Okay. Your product is going to give him the value of, let's say, 10 rupees more actually. Okay. By way of avoiding rejections or reducing production cost or getting a better price in the market, he will make another 10 rupees more. Okay. If he's going to come and negotiate with you, like saying that I want a 10% discount, for example, okay, you are not going to give him the 10% discount or even 8% discount. Okay, you cannot give naturally because you are scope for only 3 rupees reduction. Customer will become upset and unhappy with you. Even if he's making enough money in the deal, he will not be happy because you have not, in the first slide actually, the ego. his ego is not satisfied. So you have to be very careful. You should not get into the trap of giving the lower offer price and then without understanding exactly what value your product is, and making the customer to make more value out of your product. Consistent quality. All these things are benefit customers gets out of your product. Understand that before really offer your product. Now let's talk about customer urgency. Again, depends upon the urgency for which he is buying the product. You can quote a price. If he is in need of the product urgently, because for example, there can be a production issue, the existing product is giving a lot of trouble, he wants to stop it, he wants to change it to a good product. Okay, your product is sufficing the purpose for which he wants the product. That or the existing supplier has stopped supply, there is some production problem in their unit. Okay, so because of the customer wants urgently the product. In that situation, if you understand the situation, you can accordingly quote the price. You can ask me a question now saying that, sir, should I not cheat the customer? Am I not cheating the customer by offering higher price, understanding his urgency? No, it's not the case. I'm telling you that your bottom price is 80, you may get 83, 84, 80, whatever actually, okay. But here I'm talking about the quoting price. When you quote the price, customer may say, chalo, give me 5% discount, close it actually. You will not even spend enough time to sit, negotiate, okay. He will not have time, energy to negotiate because he's under pressure. Okay, so you quote reasonable price and close it faster. Again, I'm saying if you say that because customer is urgent, can I give you 80 rupees and close it immediately? Maybe not happen. You will still ask for 3% discount or 4% discount. What happened to present supply? Understand all these things before quoting the price. Why does he want to change the product? Is he facing any technical problem? Is he having special buyer requirement? Sometimes buyer will ask for, let's say, higher light fastness. He is not getting that light fastness. Okay. Because of that, he wants to change the product. Your product is able to give him the better light fastness. But the buyer order is pending. Order is for shipment. For example, next 1 month, he has to ship the fabric. Okay. So he needs the material just now. Without that, the order will not be fulfilled. Okay, export obligation will not be fulfilled. You know what the problem you will face if his export obligation is not fulfilled, right? Understand the urgency while quoting the price. So far so good. Can anybody comment on this? Now, what I talked about is what is price, when to tell the price, whom to tell the price. Okay, then what is the price, whether you should quote a higher price or lower price. Okay, and then what are the factors you must keep it in mind while quoting the price to the customer. In that we talked about customer psychology, product portfolio, means whether it's commodity or specialty, customer urgency, and we talked about what benefit your product give to the customer. Okay, customer benefit, and then we talked about customer urgency. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, there's no question. Then let's handle now customer objection. You can ask me a question that why customer object for the price. I asked you a counter question. Why should not object? Because your company know what is the price. Because we go back to that slide, initial slide. The cost plus profit. Okay. Maybe your company know, maybe not as a salesman, but your company knows. Okay, but customer doesn't know what profit you are making. Okay, suppose you say 100 rupees, you are making your cost of product is 90. Okay, you are making 10 rupees profit. Okay, you go and tell the customer the price. Okay, customer may think that you are making